Hey guys, Luke here, and I really wish I wasn't doing this video, but it has to be done, it has to be addressed. The NRL has been suspended due to the coronavirus issue that's going on around the world in Australia. It's a pandemic at this point. It's very, very bad. The AFL called off their season. They suspended their season for 2 months, and the NRL has followed suit with talks of borders shutting and that sort of stuff. I suppose it was inevitable. As a rugby league fan, I think you kind of had the suspicions that it was going to shut down. I heard Brad Fittler saying, yeah, they're going to have to. Then other people saying, no, they'll keep playing. Greenberg and Vlandy, whatever his name is, they kept talking about how they're going to keep playing until it's kind of forced upon them. They can't afford to stop due to money and that sort of stuff. But it's been officially forced onto them, and the NRL will not be going forward. Now, like I said, this had to happen, and I was sort of starting to say I got sidetracked, but as a rugby league fan, I feel like we knew it was going to happen, but we kind of didn't want to believe it was going to happen, and we're just hoping for the best now. I mean, we would have thought at some point, if they kept playing, a player's eventually going to contract the virus, and then it would have just been an absolute shit show in terms of how to make up rounds and make up games, and suspending the game for a couple of weeks and then a month, or so it seemed like it was inevitable. So yeah, on one hand, I'm very disappointed that the NRL is not going to be happening. I thought this round with the no crowds, it was quite unique. It was quite good in some sense. I actually really enjoyed being able to hear more of the players. You could hear the referees a lot more clearer. It kind of reminded me of when you watch New South Wales Cup and the under-20s and that sort of stuff, when you can't really hear the crowd too much. The only difference was when a try was scored, there was no clapping or anything, but it was interesting. It was an interesting dynamic. I'm glad they did play this week, just to see what it was like, to be honest. I feel like everybody's always thought, what would it be like with no crowds? But there we go, we finally got an answer. It wasn't that bad, and even at some point throughout later in the season, I mean, there might come a point where it might be safe enough for them to play games with still being no crowds. So if that's what they have to do, that's what they have to do. I don't mind that. In terms of watching on the TV, it was good. The broadcast was still great. But yeah, in terms of playing the games right now, it's not safe to do so. And I mean, yeah, like I said, it is very disappointing, but I think we all knew it was coming. And then especially as soon as the AFL announced that they were suspending their season, it was like, all right, it's going to happen. This is it. The NRL is done for. Maybe they'll last one more week. Maybe they'll last 2 more weeks. They didn't even last a couple of days. So yeah, it's very disappointing considering we've waited the whole preseason for it to just start, and then we get 2 weeks in and it's already done. I mean, AFL, they got 1 week in, so it's just unfortunate timing. It's just unfortunate all around for everybody. I believe the players are going to be having their pay cut, which it's got to happen. I've seen Joey Leilua and stuff talk about how, you know, he better be getting paid in full. I think that's what he said. Something along the lines of that. I'm kind of paraphrasing there, but I mean, there's just no way to do it. I mean, there's already talk of teams possibly folding. I'd say your teams like Manly and the Sharks and stuff, who are already in financial trouble now with no revenue, no money coming in, while still having to pay some players and pay staff and that sort of stuff. I think they're really going to struggle. I just seen Paul Gallen's been let go by the Sharks temporarily. It's just not a good situation overall in terms of the whole world. A lot of talks about rugby league and, you know, them losing money, but just in general, the general public is going to be losing money. You've seen a lot of people losing their jobs and that. So rugby league players, they find themselves in a pretty fortunate position here that, you know, they probably do have a job to come back to in a couple of months' time when everything's good to go. And, you know, they've got great care for them because, you know, they've got everybody looking out for their best interest for them, I would like to think. So, yeah, the rugby league players are quite fortunate compared to the general public, I'd say. But yeah, it's just, I really wish this wasn't happening. Now, in terms of my channel, obviously my channel is a rugby league channel. What are we going to be doing on the channel? Now, I think I'm going to be trying to keep pumping out the content. I feel like at the moment there's a demand for rugby league, there's a demand for sport, and the fact that there's none here, it's not like this has happened in the preseason. You're kind of out of, I don't know, you're kind of out of it. You're not really too fast. Like if this had happened in, I don't know, November or December, the season's already over. You already know it's out. It's the fact that the NRL has just started and we're in week 2, would have been round 3 coming up. of a big season. We've waited all the pre-season, everyone's done their training. The fact that it's just wiped out, it's gone, and we don't know how long. The AFL is 2 months, I believe. They've actually put a time frame on it. NRL hasn't, as far as I could find. I was trying to find if they had said any sort of time frame, but it just says indefinitely as far as I can tell. But there's a lot of question marks about it. So in terms of me, I'm not just going to put my channel on hold. I'm going to keep producing content. Rugby League Live Falls there. Thankfully, we've got a video game. It's a couple years old now, but we'll be taking advantage of that. Rugby League Team Manager 20 is out. We'll be giving that a go. Actually, Team Manager 3, I think it's called. We'll be giving that a go. Can do some videos on that. Plus, you know, quizzes, reliving old games. I think there's plenty to do. It's just a matter of getting creative, and I feel like us as a community, us as a country, as an international, just as a human race, I feel like we need to get quite creative with what's going on, considering we can't really do too much outside. Everyone's going to be in lockdown probably pretty soon, so you may as well get creative. Jump on YouTube, do as much as you can, make those highlights videos, make those rugby league content. I'd love to see a lot more people making rugby league content on YouTube. I think it'd be great. Obviously not the best timing, but I'd love to see people give it a go. Now, yeah, just in terms of the situation, it's not good, but let's make the best of a bad situation. I'm going to be trying to be posting a lot more. Might have a lot more free time on my hands. I think everybody's going to have a bit more free time, considering what's happening, considering nobody's allowed outside, possibly people losing jobs and that. So yeah, why not try and keep the entertainment in people's lives? That's the way I'm looking at it. So expect me to keep uploading. That's what I'm going to be trying to do. That's what I promised to you guys. I'm not going to abandon you. I'm going to keep posting, and yeah, hopefully we can all get through this together. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. The rugby league season has been suspended. It was inevitable. It was going to happen. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it comes back in a couple months' time and we move on and there's not too much damage done, because they're talking about how much damage there's going to be, clubs pulling out and that. I'd hate to see clubs having to fold because of this. I really would, and I'd like to think that nothing's going to happen like that. But hey, it is a possibility. Anyway, guys, leave in the comment section below, what are your thoughts on this whole coronavirus situation? Was the NRL right to continue playing the last couple of weeks? Should they have stopped earlier? I just want to see what you have to say in the comment section below. Anyway, guys, if you go ahead and give me a follow on social media, it's Mr. Luke on YT. It's on the screen right now. You can also give me a follow on Facebook as well. It's Mr. Luke. Search it up. Should come up there. And add me on Snapchat as well, Mr. Luke on YT. Go ahead and just complete the whole social media trifecta or whatever. Just add me on everything. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got to say. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the channel. I'm going to be posting a lot more rugby league content. Stay tuned. Bye, guys.